today. Doom is the right of all sentient beings. Doom is still alive in the year 2016. It is one of the few games that has managed to stand the test of time. In fact, it's managed to push back time in some respects with the release of Brutal Doom and Project Brutality. So when I heard there was going to be some sort of super big budget awesome Doom remake, I was rather skeptical to say the least. But thankfully, I was proven to be wrong when I said it was going to be like that delightful little Doom film. So with that, let's load up our shotties, put on our war faces, and take a look at Doom 2016. The controversy started right here, the box art. The title also is a little bit annoying, seeing as how this really is the fourth Doom game, and really is not just a complete remake, it is more of a remakaquel. Now, really, the box art is the least important part of any game. But, let's face it, this is not bad box art. This is essentially a parody of all those Modern Warfare-style shooters. Doom Guy is standing in the middle of the box with a double-barreled shotgun and not some sort of basic assault rifle. And he's in really, really cool power armor. Of course, some people wanted to complain that this looks entirely like Master Chief. But, well, I guess they're like Duke. They seem to think that power armor is for pussies, but they're just jealous that Duke Nukem Forever is not fit to polish Doom Guy's visor. The gameplay is quite simply exquisite, and quite simply Doom. Doom Guy moves more than 1 mile per year, and you do not have to reload your weapons. The gameplay also places a significant emphasis on exploration as well, as there are numerous secrets throughout the level. But here's the best thing about the secrets. They actually mean something. Instead of just finding bits of ammo or health, the secrets that you find actually give you tangible benefits. This of course ties into the massive upgrade system in the game. There are upgrades for every bloody thing. There are gun upgrades that you get for killing enemies and completing levels, and there are suit upgrades that you acquire by finding these tabs on elite guard corpses that are scattered around a level. And you can upgrade your base stats by finding these globes that are also scattered around levels as well. I, for one, rather love the upgrade system as it gives you a tangible sense of progression without getting in the way. There are, of course, other secrets to be found, but I don't wish to spoil them. The weapons for the game are quite simply transcendent. Groin-grabbingly transcendent, as Homer Simpson is wont to say. However, this is where you begin to see a blending of both Doom and Quake. Really, Doom 2016 is a complete celebration of everything id Software. It has elements from Doom 1, Doom 2, Quake 1, Quake 2, and Quake 4. Really, this is not a remakequel just for Doom. It's also the oft-desired Quake 5 as well. Really, this game could easily just be called Dwake more than Doom 2016. The starting pistol is not the Doom pistol, but rather the Quake 2 and 4 starting pistol. This is the blaster, and it is a simple energy weapon that does little damage, but has infinite ammo. To a Quake 4 fan, it's rather obvious in its inspiration, as it even has the same alternate fire as the blaster in that game. And it even looks a bit like it as well. After a few seconds in the game, you get the shotgun that has the power of the Doom shotgun, but the look of the Quake 4 shotgun. This is excellent, and the weapon itself sounds about as orgasmic as the classic Doom shotgun. Yes, that makes me very happy in the pleasure centers of my brain. You then have the assault rifle, and by the great space dragon did they get this one right. Instead of giving you a basic M4 clone, we instead have a beast of a weapon that should be banned for all time. This is a 50 Beowulf caliber assault rifle that is belt-fed and makes a very awesome sound when fired, and is very useful for clearing out large groups of weak enemies. You then have the Super Shotgun that looks really cool and helps set Doom apart today, like it did in the 90s, from other sci-fi shooters. This thing, like the Doom 2 Super Shotgun, destroys all in its path. The new plasma rifle is cool enough, but I feel it's a bit underpowered and looks more like something from Aperture Science than the Union Aerospace Corporation, as it really lacks the grittiness of the other weapons. The rocket is cool enough, but seems a bit basic and actually feels more like the rocket from AVP 2 than the rocket from Doom.
And lastly, we have the railgun making its triumphant return yet again. And by the great Talos, it's great to finally be able to give enemies with said weapon. And this thing, unlike the plasma rifle, really does look nice and gritty. There are, of course, other weapons in the game, but I really don't want to spoil them. You get your initial weapon upgrades by finding a drone, selecting one, and then punching the shit out of it in a very satisfying manner. After you get your initial upgrades, you can earn weapon upgrade points to further refine them. The concept of weapon upgrades in an id Software styled game was first seen in Quake 4, as in that game you could get weapon upgrades at certain predetermined parts of the game. Although there is more story-based and here it is more gameplay-based, as is fitting for a Doom game. The power-ups for the game are quite excellent as well. The invulnerability power-up returns from the original Doom and even kinda looks like it. And it is just as useful here as it was in the original game. However, they thankfully got rid of that horribly annoying whiteout vision. You have the Berserk power-up that turns you into a living avatar of corn! Blood for the blood god! Milk for the cornflakes!
Really, there are a lot of different elements from Doom 3 in this game as well. Most notably the Berserk power-up, as it looks a lot like the Berserk power-up from Doom 3, and it even restricts you to your fists like in that game as well.
But you also get a quad damage power-up replete with its original sounds. See what I mean when I call this Dwayne the Rock Johnson? Also, in the game, your base character can be upgraded in a couple of ways. Most notably, you eventually get the ability to double jump. And the game really has quite the emphasis on platforming, although it works here a little bit better than it did in some other classic games, mainly because you can mantle, and this makes platforming not at all annoying like some other games created by the great Goblin. I'm looking at you, Half-Life! Really, the platforming sections of the game are quite cool and never break the flow of the game. Now, like in the original Doom, your main objective in the game is to collect keys, and this is handled rather well, and even the act of collecting keys is made rather badass. But id Software decided to add a few modern concepts to the game. You have the arena levels. What are the arena levels? It's where you get locked into a room, and you have to kill all the enemies for the room to become unlocked. These do serve to bring the game to a rather abrupt halt, and do get a bit annoying after a while. And what I find funny is that Dwayne here actually shares some similarities with Dead Space. As in Dead Space, you have arenas that you have to clear for much the same reasons as in Doom, both requiring a certain type of contamination to be cleared. And you don't just clear that contamination with a shooty either. Rather, you do it with the Glory Kill system.
The Glory Kill system, ladies and gentlemen, has of course polarized the internet. Some love it, some hate it, some are ambivalent towards it. As for me, I fucking love it!
Why do I love it, you may ask? Well, it gives the gameplay that much more variety, in addition to being bloody well satisfying. To quote the angry video game nerd, you get to beat the shit out of people. Animations are fast and fluid and look really cool, but you actually get something out of it. Each glory-killed enemy yields some ammo and health. Not too much, but enough to keep you going, thus reducing the need to hunt for bloody band-aid boxes everywhere. And the ammo that you beat out of the asses of the enemies also ensures that you can actually keep firing your fire sticks and not having to constantly search for a box of bullets. The glory kill system is also personified in the chainsaw.
The chainsaw is an interesting weapon. In theory, it's a super cool weapon where you can chainsaw up demons and things of that nature, but in all reality, I personally never used it. And really, it's cool that they've actually taken it in a new direction in this game.
Here, the chainsaw serves a legitimate purpose. It creates loot showers! When you use the chainsaw on an enemy, you cut them open, and all sorts of good loot pours out. And the chainsaw itself is also limited by fuel, thus ensuring that the player cannot become sheep.
And now, onto the graphics.
To me, the graphics are some of the least important aspects of any game. If the game looks good but plays like crap, the game is still crap. If the game has decent graphics but amazing gameplay, the game is good. An interesting concept, I know. The graphics for Doom are actually quite good, but thanks to my fairly antiquated graphics card, I have to play the game on all low at 720p screen resolution. And the game is still bloody well addictive, and still fucking fun. That right there goes to show you that graphics do not make the game, nor do frames per second make the game either, as I'm doing quite good to get 30 frames per second, much less 60, and yet the game is still fun. Doom not only looks pretty on the outside with great texture work even on low, but is also pretty on the inside. Instead of a soulless cretin who cares not for the player but only for its self-aggrandizement, we have a strong, dependable game that not only cares for the player but wants the player to be happy and content. Doom does this by giving us massive levels that are the equal of many from Doom Classic, and the levels have numerous places to go and much to do in them, and they are multi-tiered as well. There is no massive hallway to the door to disappointment. Rather, we have levels where you can't even get to certain areas without first thinking about how you will actually get there. And since the game actually has a level select, you have reason to go back. Since we have a level select, we can go back with an upgraded Doom guy and look for more secrets, thus giving the game reasons for replayability. Moving on, the PC port is excellent, and Bethesda did an amazing job optimizing it for older systems. I am running an NVIDIA GeForce GTX 460, and the game is still perfectly playable, and I can record it with fraps. That is pretty bloody amazing if I do say so myself. And unlike other Bethesda games, you can have a controller plugged in and still use the bloody keyboard. One thing that was rather annoying was when I first installed the game, it didn't bloody well work. And the various forums were not all that forthcoming as to how to fix this magic break, and apparently it's a fairly common problem. The fix I used was to verify the integrity of the game cache and then have Steam re-download the executable. Ah, the trials and tribulations of the glorious PC master race.
Like with the glory kill system, the soundtrack for Doom is a bit, shall we say, divisive. Some love it, some hate it, some are ambivalent towards it. As for me, I absolutely love it. Mick Gordon has done an amazing job on it, and well, just listen. And that is just the tip of the iceberg. There are tracks throughout the game that will get you throwing the metal sign and headbanging with wild abandon. And with that, let's take a look at the excellent story for Doom 4.
The story is even better and more complex than the story seen in Doom 3, and also makes a considerable amount more sense as well. The game also foregoes massively long cutscenes and gives you a more Half-Life style of story presentation. And control is not taken away from you all that much. In fact, the game starts up really quickly, and you have the Doom guy here break out of a change and promptly do what he does best, killing. No massive cutscene, no trying to find Sergeant Kelly, just Doom guy wakes up, gets to killing. And then, of course, almost immediately you find the tactical monster truck armor, aka the Praetor suit, and well, some complain this makes the Doom guy look like the Master Chef Petty Officer of the Navy, Spartan 117. Really, old Johnny Boy wishes he looked half as badass as the Doom guy here. Old Doomy looks every bit as brutal and gritty as the world he is fighting through. And the Praetor suit never clashes either.
The background for the demon invasion and for Doom as a whole isn't the future, it's what I like to call the future. Essentially, it's an 80s style future replete with evil corporations that are trying to make money off of the strangest of things. Most notably, they're trying to make money off of Hell Juice, aka Argent Energy. Argent Energy is supposed to be clean and limitless, and it's just interesting that Hell would be that renewable, I guess. The road to Hell is indeed paved with good intentions. And well, it's an interesting place to take the concept of Hell, and I like it quite a bit, in fact.
Eventually, you get to some more story bits, and the game turns into a bit of a parody. Stop me if you've heard this before. The hero must turn on or off 4 or 5 objects to save the day. Well, Doom Guy ain't having none of that. When Dr. Samuel Hunt in the Warframe Man tells you to carefully turn off the science gubbin, what do? You beat the shit out of it!
We're only temporarily disabling the tower. You need to remove each lens, individually. Carefully release the hinges.
Warning. Energy contamination detected.
Destroying the production of Argent energy isn't necessary.
Now, if only I could do that with my oft-malfunctioning computer.
Really, Doom Guy here is an angry Marine. He smashes shit like you wouldn't believe. And I love it! It's a very talented storyteller who uses the concept of less is more. We don't have Doom Guy monologuing to the camera about all his various woes. Rather, we see all the character we need when he beats the shit out of everything. He destroys the science hell juice gubbins so that they cannot be used again, and thus put humanity in danger. And the game strikes a good balance between the concept of it's supposed to be you and actually giving the Doom Guy a character. Story is also seen in the codex, and I fucking love this concept. It allows the developers to flesh out the story without slowing down the gameplay. And there is a bunch of bloody codex entries, and they all are fucking fascinating and make an already amazing game even better.
And last but least, let's take a look at multiplayer and SnapMap.
The multiplayer for the game is pretty bloody basic, and doesn't really stand out from the multitude of multiplayer games all that much, but at least it's on the same level of complexity as the single player. Back in the day, you used to get both a good single player and a multiplayer all in the same game. But this is not altogether that common these days. And while this multiplayer will not become the next CSGO, it is still competent enough that it's not bad. It's got all the game modes one would want, and it's fun enough, I suppose. But I did get a bit of a Halo vibe when I played it. SnapMap is interesting for a console map maker. It's better than nothing and reminds me of TimeSplitter's Future Perfect and its map maker. For an actual modding tool, it leaves a great deal to be desired. And when playing it, I was less than impressed. I feel that for Doom 4 to have the staying power of classic Doom, or even Doom 3, more complex and powerful modding tools need to be released, as SnapMap is simply too basic to extend the life of the game all that much.
And so, after all of that, does 2016's Doom really dethrone the FPS classic that is Doom Classic? Well, no.
Here we have Brutal Doom V20B with the Doom 4 weapons, and an update to the classic Doom levels known as the Hell on Earth Starter Pack. What we're looking at here is every bit as good as Doom 4. In fact, I would go on to say that it's a bit better in some respects. It's certainly more notable than Doom 4 because these mods were created by the fans for free. And the fact that these mods can actually compete with a multi-million-dollar game created by Bethesda, one of the largest game studios today, is nothing short of amazing. Really, classic Doom will never die. The fans love it too much, and the game was and is absolute perfection. Furthermore, what we have here are Doom 4's weapons in classic Doom. And with the best praise that one can give a Doom game, they do work really well in classic Doom. In all reality, Doom will live on because of its modding community, and they will consistently improve upon Doom until the time you can only play Doom on a holographic computer on a holodeck. Will Doom 4, on the other hand, stand the test of time? Well, we just have to wait and see. But I have a feeling future generations will be talking about the 1993 masterpiece long after Doom 4 has faded into the mists of the past.
And so that is Doom 2016, a game I highly recommend. It's well made, well presented, and is good all around. It cannot, of course, completely defeat Doom Classic, but then what can, honestly? And so with that, I am General Lotz, wishing you good Wolfenstein New Order, good Wolfenstein Old Blood, whatever makes you happy.